Yes, we there. Greetings. We there with you. First thing we have to say thanks to all those who were in. You know what I mean? Even though um, the program got blocked, you see, it went out, but the system, the people them who control them, you know. So still, me I say thank you. And when you look upon our ad now, you see that we are show some food. We are show Africa. We are show um, things that we should be doing, and we are doing. So what is this? No. The farmland on the continent is working. You know, the farmland is working. The farmland is producing. And our associates are working because the land is ours. So, with that being said, we are the land is producing, and we intend, God willing, to bring that productivity, send it out, and also receive it here, God willing. Depending on the conditions and circumstances really here. But, and this but is a serious but, it's not the conjunction. The Caribbean has always been ready. So, as the saying goes, you know, if you're ready, you're ready. You know, best things to do is to know what you're about to do. So, we are showing on the encoder beautiful things, you see? Yes, that's a mango tree. It'll come up any minute now. You will see that's mango. And we are send that out on the Facebook regularly now. We are send it there, let people them see. And a conversation we have, a real thing we are deal with. You see? We have enough things to talk about, but we can't talk about them enough things. What we have to do is do the work. So even if me pass this minute, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not going to stop the growth of the produce. And if I pass this minute, my family would not decrease and decline. If I pass this minute, it's just that I'm gone. You see? That's it. So we try tighten things, structure things. I forgot to show you the water. You see? Because the area have water, but the brethren put in some pumps. Got a very good irrigation system. You see? We are running half-course, four-course rotation on the land. So we not misuse water. We also are running the solar panels. We are using solar panels. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the great sunlight, powerful. You see? And all these years we there England, and some of us there Canada, and we know how this thing, we get to learn how this thing operates. and how effective it is. You see? And he didn't just speak to me about it. Him already got them set up. And it's young people, teenagers, that are very well, it's Africa, innit? Even the Caribbean. It's just that people have changed the disciplines of the Caribbean, and we're short of agricultural workers, consistencies, you see. So, yeah, we must try get the water one up. And you see the water pump. And you not see no Asian man, no white man, no nothing. You see Africans, I work for Africans. And the Africans are installed and have installed. There's nothing wrong with those other people doing something, but it makes us seem like we can't do nothing. Because when you put on the TV, everything shows other people are support we and some we are farm are doing something, because you have to ask yourself who they're supporting. You know? But say alhamdulillah anyway. But in this case here, we do things for ourselves. And we love that. The next thing, what I'm going to be trying to do is get those young people learning about the land, agriculture. And not learning because I am the teacher. No. We want them to have a great deal of experience, and we want them to understand Western agriculture as well. You know, there's some techniques there. You see? Yes, I'm telling you. So we will have mangoes, guava, yeah, hi boy, watermelons, to name but a few, aubergines and okra, yam, you know, to name but a few. I tell you. Hibiscus, oh yes, we not forget the sorrel. You see, right? And many other things, but we know say them ones they know people ears are prop up and say, whoa, right? So watch it. Don't say nothing bad for us. Pray to God that all the people them that are participate, you understand, stay healthy. That's it. And the government stay stable. Basically, that's all it requires right now. The government stays stable. Our community is fine. Our chiefs, our people are fine, alhamdulillah. The young people, the adult, everybody fine. You understand? Through the grace of God. I tell you, everybody is fine. Didn't need £1 million, 1 million naira, 1 million shillings, $1 million. What we needed is 1 million commitment, sincerity and trust. See? Sincerity and trust, loyalty to the cause. See? My big mouth and my heart. And my mouth not big. I can shout. But we just needed heart. See? And my brethren, my brothers in Islam, alhamdulillah, they're doing the work. You see? And nobody has said we need X cover. No, need commitment. General basic commitment and sincerity. See? So now we are teaching young people them how to be consistent. Stay the course. But then no. Them know about agriculture. They see their foreparents. Them see their grandparents. Them see the land. You understand? All we're doing is saying we're going to make an international base, an outlet for the produce. So many of them can go to the highest in education on the continent. Oh no, not in Europe or US, on the continent. Some will be able to go to Dar es Salaam. Oh yes. I've already put a university up on Facebook. So people see them university buildings there, of Sudan, and also in Tanzania and Uganda. We're not playing. There's some people that perhaps are saying, why you say that now? No, we're not saying nothing. We're not saying anything. We're just projecting something. Because in all the negativity that the world has projected and a display to us, none of us know where we are going tomorrow or this second. So we have to just let it out. Use this medium to let it out. We try to use this medium to say infrastructure England. We the people sorting things out for ourselves, helping ourselves and looking at our needs. You see? So we're not going to change from that. But why is we say that you think that's the only thing that we can be doing? No. There are other things. Just because we can play the latest rhythms here and there, principle, you think that's part of the understanding that amusement and play has fueled our intellect for the longest of years. That's what it does. It's the main focus of our attention and attraction. I would be silly if I didn't make good use of it. And I make good use of it because you listen to the lyrical content and you you hear what I'm doing. Myself personally, Mr. Best. Principal is our number one selector. And even then, I transform him selection to give the listening ears cultured value. See? So when him go a street, which is not me, when him go a street, then him do the dance hall, but not a diggy, right? A variety. When him coming on cultured expression, him express the culture of ourselves as African people. Yes. And we love it just like that. You understand? And most importantly, is put the dignity in there for our women. The dignity, what's that? There's nothing that violates them. Them don't select nothing that supposed to be exciting but is that discriminated of them. No, we love our mothers. We won't sell them. And we won't do something just for the sake of being popular. So he does that. Those people who listen them know that. They can recognize that by now. It means I select for both people, male and female, but him loving women. Sure we should. You understand? And the culture nuts them, and the Rastafari, them get their portion also. So that's why I say, it means a wackad selector. You promoters out there, pay attention. Because when him come a street, and I need for string him up in the dance hall, me mean, you know. You understand? He will come and string up. You need for book him. Yes. And if we not book him, him still going to be there. But when we not book him, you know what we know? Jealousy. You understand? So, we send positive energies, God willing, to those who want to make a change. We try to send positive energies to those who are thinking and willing. But what I don't do myself is walla walla and the old English slogans. I'm an elder. I've been there. We want good, but we don't stay the course. That's my perception. We don't stay the course. We start projects and we're not consistent. It seems that some people much prefer or want, or the full intention was to have several hundred people. They don't know, say that the best effort is within themselves. And keep learning and pray and keep on. If you're really any person that has a real desire, serious intention, and found themselves or think of themselves as being reliable, not just resourceful, they will have patience and they will know that it's a long haul. So they must be consistent. But if what they're doing or we're trying to do, we only judge it because it needs to have 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 pounds, and all these things. That's why our children, our young ones, they're supposed to come now and learn, advise us within the technologies, and we leave them stable. Them don't want to hear us. And them say a long thing. And then we're wondering why they speak like that. They're not speaking derogatory. They're just saying it's a long thing. Because them can't not see anything. Not what you're telling them, what we're saying to them to try and do now. They haven't seen no track record. You understand? There are people who want to be the new Usain Bolt and Shelly Ann and so on and so on. There are people because there's a legacy. Not because they have won. That is the ultimate, but not because they won. Because they've seen them. They've heard about them. They can identify with them. Even though they haven't touched them or spoken to them. But they can mentally and spiritually associate themselves with them. We are fall short in that arena. We haven't used social science. We haven't used symbolic gestures. We haven't used any real tool as teachers to attract the general populace of our people. But we respond every beckoning time some agenda from the opposition reach us. That's what we do. We just react and we grab up every goddamn agenda that somebody's put out there. And this C-19 have made us, for once, fear for ourselves and others. And the only agenda is COVID-19, which is really freedom of life and the anticipation of death. Hey boy, I like me, you know. Seriously, because I'm anticipating death. Why? Because we still ain't sure, and there is some ulterior motive in play. It exposes the continent, and it exposes us as a people. It has weakened us in terms of our elders. What services did we have to provide or to offer them? It exposed us, and it still is. And rightly so. It shouldn't have happened, but rightly so. Are we going to learn? Recognizing and not implementing is not learning. And that's what I found with my generation. We know so much and do so little. We know what side of the bed the Prime Minister likes and don't like. We know what kind of food him eat and him not like. On the backside, you're going to know so much about everybody's system. And we don't have one of our own. And we know what what they're planning to do, but yet still we're not in the conversation. That's the marvelous bullshit that we do to ourselves. I'm straight. When I go around the corner, because some of the jackasses go around the corner, and we're not going to like it just like that, because each one of them, each one of you are bluff one another. And you're trying to make yourselves valuable and important. You need to be told. We need to be told. Straight frankly, we ain't doing damn nothing. We haven't been doing nothing since immigration and all the work that our families have come here and done. Yesterday, is it yesterday or the day before, there was a program on BBC about our families again saving the NHS. Wow, please. It's about time somebody made the film for ourselves and say, hey, and beg that question in the film, why are we still here? And the answer is, Labour fought the Conservatives to keep our relatives here. That's how we finish up staying. We couldn't have gone back unless we had the money, but we didn't have the money. They didn't send us back, just like they haven't repatriated us back to whence they took us from. So you know that problem again. So it swings and roundabouts. My thing was, why are they not informing the nation of our great credibility in ad for them land? Is this genuine? What pressures are there under that we don't really know about, why they're showing these sympathetic gestures? Because it's true, but why are you showing it? Did you teach it? Did you legislate it? Did you make it known? Here what happened? 76 years down the road, you're showing something. Are you humoring me? Christian, what are you actually doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? What's the gesture behind it? See? So it's perhaps for my grandmother to tell her grandchildren, you lot need to relax, the Queen. Could be sympathy. Sympathy and apathy is a serious thing that Britain is good at. Them boss we head and make out that they care about us. And then they don't actually deny they've done it. But they don't agree that they've done anything. And they don't apologize for any wrongdoings that you found them to be doing. And they know that you know that you know that they know and we know. But you know what they know? That we don't know what to do about it. And I'm always saying that Michael says, Courtney says, Rudy Narayan says, Lord Pitt says, the court, the law, justice can be awarded. All you have to do is enter the arena. But we don't. And in this time, my time, we have many liars. But you see what happens with us again? They're also scared. Because if I take on a case like this, tomorrow's tomorrow, I'm a nobody. The black community ain't gonna represent me. You think they're gonna feed my family? Now, an infrastructure will stop that kind of thinking. Because I can understand that. I can relate to that. I think we all can. But how long are we going to be crying like that? That's why Stephen Lawrence situation could have happened. That's why Rashad's situation can happen. All these other people's situations can continue to happen. That's why what happened in America can continue to happen. Because we just get scared. And after we finish getting scared, we don't attempt. And whilst we're still messing around with being scared and not attempting to do anything, we realize that the best people we got is ourselves. And then we can't trust ourselves because we haven't got a track record to show that we even attempted to enter the marathon. Because it's not about no sprinting. It's not about no jumping. It's not even about dancing. It's about staying the course of respect for ourselves. Create an environment where we know so that dignity is within ourselves. We're tired playing up and trying to measure up with someone else. If we measured ourselves with ourselves, we'd be so much in love. Hear this now. Love and Lovely is having a party. Love and Lovely is put out them leaflet, poster, tell them friend, gone on Twitter, gone on whatever. Everything up there. No COVID and everything. Them get a lovely, nice place and so forth. Them have all the food, this and that, and jerky here, there, and everywhere. Drinks there, and everything, and so forth. You know, see the place going to be cock. You know that. What am I saying? We can socially come together. But now if Love and Lovely decide to say, hold up, stop that record. I need to say something. Now, because it's Love and Lovely party, our celebration, our anniversary, our christening, people will be like, still, respectfully. So now Love and Lovely say, here what happened? You know we're there together for a long time. As a people in England, some people, oh my God, no, please. Another set of people say, chop, make a talk now. And we'll go to all of that little charade. You know what happened really? The general populace that is there would not be paying attention at all. Even though we stop talk, we stop rushing around, won't pay attention. And what she's trying to draw attention to is how good we are when we're together, and how good we should be when we leave this piece of enjoyment. And perhaps she says, let's rekindle the partner. Let us rekindle the partner. Let us go for £20 a week, or since we're in this stage, let's go for one of them readies, them 5-0, Hawaii 5-0. Let's go for that. And some people are, but it'd be a very, very good idea. But Loving Lovely never turn around and say, here what, we need everybody here to do that. It's just a suggestion. You know what? To get the faculties switched on. Not that it's been switched off, but sometimes we need to put some food for thought inside our consciousness. And not wait until we get abused, hurt, and backed up against the wall, and all the covert and misdemeanors with the laws and everything. And our children, we are go to the cemetery and we're saying, no more, more life, long life, stop the world, want justice. See? So we be responding correctly. Okay. Take Loving Lovely out of the scene now. And Loving Lovely pastor. See, pastor from the evangelist, wherever denomination, him just there. Today could be a she, but the pastor just there. And the pastor says, now, but dear beloved brothers and sisters, family, I beg you all to lend me your ears. Not ears. I won't take up too much of your time. As many of you know me already, Pastor Good Hope. But I will not, because the occasion is good and I got my eyes over there on that chicken leg and that jerk, this and everything. You understand? And the fish, I'm going to eat myself crazy in a minute. And people say, a minute? It means an hour. And Pastor says, may the grace of God be with us all. I too believe and second the motion for the partner. May God help us. And you young people, I pray such a day will come. And him just gone to the kitchen and grab up him thing that him done tell we about, and we're like, shock. Everybody said, bloodbath. Past the 1 hour, He said, boy, past the 1 hour, the chicken, the food must smell sweet. Pastor turned around and says, no, it's the environment. It's very cohesive. I want this environment in my church next week. But I am all for the partner, rekindling the partner. And I've already put my money in. And I will be subscribing the congregational money when the week come. What the pastor mean now? Some of the money that he might collect, that they are collecting, or the church does collect, I'm willing to put that money when the week come to get this thing moving. A damn thing me I deal with. So pastor, if your son, your daughter, your girlfriend, anybody hear what I just said, do it. It's a good thing to do. Be a very good thing to do. You understand? Over at the mosque, we don't have to do all of them things because the people is part of Islamic principles. And I'm not making a judgment to say that somehow the Muslim are better off than the Christian or something like that. But I'm just saying that all of these things are iron in the faith. They're already there, right? And people comply to the law of that. You understand? And that's why I want you to become a shepherd, because once you become a shepherd, you institute the law. You don't talk the law. Well, you have to the people to know about the law and everything, but you institute the law. right? We live, we die by the law. We have the law, you know what I mean? And everything. So it's not about me liking your wife or not. Nah. The law that God Almighty gave Moses, we try to implement it, use it to the best of our abilities as human beings. That's what is required. So that's why the Muslim, something different happens. And when you all look around and can see, that's what you're seeing. And some of the times, it doesn't need the whole community. It'd be great if all the communities in there. Because everybody's life, yeah, they will have different predicaments. But when it comes to zakat and these things, everybody's on the same level, man. There's nobody can come and say, I'm unemployed. No. Right? That's a given. You're saying. But we will get there. We'll get to that point. And the more pastors that decide, you know what, it's about time I do apply the law. It's about time I start working with the people them in a big way. Not just getting up and doing what they've been doing for so long. You know, you have to do more. You have to do more, seriously. Do less and do more. You know what I mean? Do less of watching what you're not supposed to be watching. Do less of stop taking what you're not supposed to stop taking. Do less of all these other things and do more reaching out, more reaching out, more reaching out. You understand? And that's it. And where you find people are not supporting, being supportive, make us know what kind of community this is when you all are sleeping. What kind of community this is when you just want to come to the church on Sunday. One to the other 6 days. You're fornicating? Ooh! See what I mean? That's a brilliant pastor. You understand? So, because some people think the church is only Sunday. No, it's every day. Every week. Every second. Every hour. That's the next difference between Islam. The building don't have to open for called church. The duties don't have to be just performed on, right? They're rituals. And a good meeting place, congregational. But every day is church. Because God don't say, watch out, I want to acknowledge you on Sunday now, and you Muslims on Friday. And no, it don't go so. So all those people who did not understand that, and you keep listening to other people that are talking about the Muslim Friday, the Christian Sunday, and so forth, you're wrong. You're wrong. Most pastors I know, and church people I know, they have an institution in them yard, just like the same one that me build in mine. They're taking care of their family first and foremost, whether they're single parents or not. And a single parent Christian man, right, him have responsibility. And if him don't hold up him corner, you know, court him or go. And that me want people to do. Take the system to court that's abusing us. So them sisters, they will take him for maintenance. And if him done, before him get there, that means him run from me. He hide from the father. Him hide from the young lady's family. He's been hiding from the pastor and other members of the church, the congregation. Now, since he's hiding, we're going to get the law to find him. Yes, nothing wrong. The law wasn't there when you consecrated that wound. The law wasn't there when you said to her, you love her. But now the law have to be there and force your responsibility out of you. Simple. It shouldn't be, but that's what we have to do. Now, how comes I'm talking about all these things? Because this is the state of affairs of life. Social science. Not mythologies. Not I pray. Not I'm wanting to see Barrister, that guy across the pond. No. our condition first and foremost before anything else, that has to be developed. Knowing all of those other things is so trivial. It has not and it will not help us none. Because it's us. Racism, I'm coming there, but it's effective because it damages us. But we pay the people who perpetrate racism, we pay them too much attention. And then that stagnates us. It does. It pollutes our very system. And more importantly, it can retain that pollution because we don't get to do anything about it. No staying power. So I'm looking to find out, really, I gotta do some more looking. I gotta start finding never tactics to find out what is race relation, if it exists, and what is being put in its place and so forth. Because we need to know that. If not, we have to give birth to something else, to something that we can then mandate to take care of our situation and our children. Take care of us as African, British, African Caribbean. Yeah, we have to start saying things like that, African British. I tell you, new one. You understand? People who born in England is still an African, right? Yes. So it's things like that. So now, where's the tune then? I have any tune? I need to release my vocal card and play a couple tune and then come back on this racism thing. You see this America constitutional thing? It is so deadly. Gosh, man. You listen. Oh my God. No. I have to find a couple with them. Bear with me. Let me find my envelopes. Mr. Best. Let me find my envelope and play a couple tune and get my voice back and get my eyes working and everything. Yo, awakening. Yeah, this is Ethiopian. Watch it.
Yeah, man. Loyal to the awakening. Morgan Heritage.
Do it! People, rise up and live.
Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Rise up and live.
Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Rise up and live, yeah. Now behold the awakening.
The awakening.
Now behold the awakening.
The awakening.
I and I are done. With them lies and propaganda, I are done. Oh yeah, the world is in a conscious state of mind.
Conscious state of mind.
Conscious state.
You see the thing about us, right? And this is not being boasting. Everything is geared to anything we talk about.
Yeah, man. Loyal to the awakening. Morgan Heritage.
Do it! People, rise up and live.
Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Rise up and live.
Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Rise up and live, yeah. Now behold the awakening.
The awakening.
Now behold the awakening.
The awakening.
I and I are done. With them lies and propaganda, I are done. Oh yeah, the world is in a conscious state of mind.
Conscious state of mind.
Conscious state of mind.
Conscious
I
state
and
of
I are done.
The awakening.
I and I are done, yeah. Oh, now 2,000 years of mental slavery. Cast these chains from us. Sons and daughters, we are of spirituality. So let your light shine from us. Judge us if we run them, run them, run them. Run the deceivers and liberate the mass. Judge us if we run them, run them, run them. Run the deceivers and liberate the mass. The world is in a conscious state of mind.
Conscious state of
A
mind.
conscious state of mind. I and I are done. I and I are done. Now nothing else. The internet backfire on them, and now them want to censor them. Where do them wanna research and then start to enlighten friends? When in a conscious state of mind, a conscious state of mind. This is how the world that runs. What has been hidden's now become the awakening.
I hide, black and white, march side by side. In this fight to liberate, liberate, liberate those enslaved by the mind. No longer shall we tolerate and turn a blind eye to what is going on worldwide. When leaders congregate, they congregate not for the benefit of I and I, but control us on the false with
Why they don't know we're in a conscious state of mind?
conscious state of mind,
Conscious state of mind.
conscious state of mind, yeah. Behold, yeah.
Now behold the awakening.
Awakening.
Now behold the awakening. I and I are done. With them lies and propaganda, I are done.
You're there now.
Now behold the awakening.
Awakening.
Now behold the awakening. I and I are done. With them lies and propaganda, I are done. I, the world is in a conscious state of mind.
Conscious state of mind.
Conscious state of mind.
Conscious
I
state
and
of
I are
mind.
done. Now behold the awakening.
Rockers again. You know.
See, that we defend all the time. So we can't change. Why? I can't change. Why we must change? You understand? Yes, I must say this, you know. When people hear me, I make the comparison with the church and everything. One must listen carefully, you know. I'm telling you, listen very carefully and see the objectivity. You understand? My personal want is for pastor them to become shepherd. The book don't tell pastor to be pastor or pope or bishop and prophetess and prophet that and all of them things there. No. Doesn't. It's either a shepherd or a fisherman of peoples. You understand? Even though we don't consecrate the book, but at least I personally know and feel that there be a directive. Why the pastor? I'ma find them a problem. They might do what the theological college or their masters require of them. If them say they're going to be our shepherd, them must respect our dignity, our culture, our modality, and honor God for us as a people. And God and us will hold them totally responsible. And that me understand.
Cool to be conscious. Yeah, man, I'm ordinary teacher, no.
Time on platinum. We hear them calling.
I know
We
again.
hear them calling.
Stun boy.
Hey, we hear Jamaica calling, and we're gonna be there. Africa is calling, and we're gonna be there. Ancient roads shot modern faces. No what was is now again. Now this is gonna be a bride. Conquer the left, conquer the right.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say.
Yeah.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say.
Yeah.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Come here to lift up, and rock out, rock out. Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say.
Yeah.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say.
Yeah.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Come here to lift up, and rock out, rock out.
Watch me get busy like this eagle, less speed. As big as they are, got nothing on me. Hey, straight out of Brooklyn, making power moves. We could do anything we put our minds to, yep.
I hear Tanzania's calling, and we gonna be there. East Africa's calling, and we gonna be there.
Ancient road shot modern faces. No at once, it's now again. Now this is gonna be a ride. Conquer the left, conquer the right.
Oh, you boomera, show them what I want, mama sita. Boomala, Zazulu kunjanki na tifa. Haina kulala, vuna kicha gun, kikatika na ukikwara kwara. Onyesha unavyo bend over. O michezo ya Kizanzibar. Shako shekova, aina ngova. Takama tukeshe baya ya.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say.
Yeah.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say.
Yeah.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Come here to lift up, and rock out, rock out. Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say.
Yeah.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say.
Yeah.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Come here to lift up, and rock out, rock out.
The cradle of life and the beginning of civilization. Mama Africa, you are the foundation. Up to the time we realize that the energy and vibration, it can't compare. Every African put on no hand in the ear. Do the Wakanda dance like you just don't care. Represent for the motherland without a little fear. Arrows and spear. Tick tock, I rhyme to how the beat drop. Watch the way that we groove to music non-stop. Spinning like the Rory cause we got style. From Jamaica, Tanzania, Ghana.
Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Come here to lift up, and rock out, rock out. Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Africa, Jamaica, that's where we say. Come here to lift up, and rock out, rock out.
We hear Jamaica calling, and we're gonna be there. Africa is calling, and we're gonna be there. Conquer the left, conquer the right.
You see we? You understand we now? You're too late.
Lock City Music.
I from long time, I don't trust bad mind. Me no use loose friend, cause no clown thing me no shine. Some say them are your friend, and all I swear blind.
Yeah, see that?
Things and times. Things and times. Channel of enlightenment.
Lock City Music.
I from long time, I don't trust bad mind. Me no use loose friend, cause no clown thing me no shine. Some say them are your friend, and all I swear blind. But as you turn them back on them first one, cut out your spine. When you see them no yelling, I don't fall them want to see. No lion farm, me no want them friendship because them full of dirty heart, you see. When you see them no yelling, me no yelling, them come to support your energy. Old vampire want stop me, but now you water for you, me demise them want to see. See them on the left, me stay on the right. Me no want to see them in eyesight. Me no part of your crown in your crown or your type. Me and me own plan, so me do as I like. Me no listen to them whenever them start them yapping. Me no care when them want to say. See them a come pick around like sensible. Any which part them hear me there. When you see them no yelling, I don't fall them want to see. No lion farm, me no want them friendship because them full of dirty heart, you see. When you see them no yelling, me no yelling, them come to support your energy. Old vampire want stop me, but now you water for you, me demise them want to see. Bad mind me deal with them urgent. Dirty heart get washed with detergent. Watch them crawl around like serpents. Me meditation strong like the root wine we ferment. Them think we never heard them, but anything or anything just say the word. Then lightning, brimstone and thunderbolt. Atta fire burn them. You see them no yelling. I don't fall them want to see. No lion farm, me no want them friendship because them full of dirty heart, you see. When you see them no yelling, me no yelling, them come to support your energy. Old vampire want stop me, but now you water for you, me demise them want to see. No yelling, support your energy. When you see them no yelling, me no yelling. Them come fi support your energy. Hold on for your one stop it, bubble and your water for your me demise. Them want fi see.
Yes, there's a thing. There are some things, let's get the correction, that we can look at, maybe not hear about, or both. The whole American situation, that's why the people must sit down, good, but that's why the alleged White House administration not paying attention to the situation, besides saying that anyone who violates the law, them have the military ready. It's still a going, you know. So where people them need to be going, you know, in America, just like over here, but America, is in the Supreme Court. You see, with all that has taken place for so much years, and the champion of the civil rights, which should have been human rights, but at the same time, that champion was killed. Going to the Supreme Court and going into the White House and wanting amendments and constitutional amendments also is a serious thing. Them don't have them steps for black people. And one of the worst things is that a lot of our people that are in the know refuse to acknowledge all the atrocities that's been happening, and the recent ones, because of what? No one knows. We can only speculate. And that's hurtful. That doesn't help any form of progression on how these systems are established. And it will not help African peoples when it's very unhelpful when they are lawful members of the African race that resides along with many other judges of these courts and reside in the high offices that one needs to be penetrating and get things tabled and get some discussions, get the heading on the agenda in the first place. It's shameful. So I think we need to pay attention to America in relation to that political journey. Not the people them, you know. The political journey. And we will see what strength of peoples they are. Because the media that's there right now, they're showing us a negative face from the Africans. They're not responding. They have refused to show any form of engagement or acknowledgement. One begs the question, is it their survival or is it their employment? It's a serious problem. So any form of accomplishment is way off. And with this being election time too, so much things are going to be has been already dismissed. So how important is the lives of African people? You know, how important? Because to make amendments, we need 38. And I can't see those states. It'd be incredible, but this is the change. Make amendments to the Constitution, make amendments to the mental perspective of how they see, perception on how they see act. Through the justice system to black people, African people. And the thing goes all the way back to slavery and the adjustments that they made after the Civil War in the abandonment of slavery. I have to say abandonment, I'm telling you. There's a lot to be said. And how they view the status of of slaves thereafter. And what rights and what level of civilianship should be awarded to the slave. I tell you, these whole American things are serious, you know. That's why when we ask that question, what does free mean and what does freedom actually among our grandparents, our foreparents that were slaves? Give and take that them couldn't understand language, and very few could speak. I tell you. And reading the American Constitution and everything, and the positioning that they have depicted for the slaves, black people, African people. And it has been tweaked across the state. The said proposal has been there nationally, but them give a private autonomy to any state Once them keep the general format, them can tweak it as them feel necessary. So you have slaves that was involuntary servitude. Yeah. Now, tell me, we are the slave. Them just tell you that we're free. And now there's also a law that some states can implement for any slaves that's in their precinct. And it's called involuntary servitude. Which one of us, pray, please, understand anything? Again, we have to be looking backwards and say, hold on. No wonder the condition that we have found ourselves within has been like, and it's taken so much years for us to look at it, examine it, and want amendments done to it, because no, we know the language and we want to say, well, oops. And that's not we, the liars. That's just we that have gone to school and learnt language. Not just to communicate, we learn to read the language. So we're way, 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 way off court. We're way off court. Plus, we're trying to get the converted to respect us and give us a moment. And if we're not intellectually skillful, we will not be communicating. Judicially, we will not be communicating, because we need to be able to understand and exchange and beg them attention. Unless we can have that judicial prudence understanding worthy of their attention, we would not get any attention. So it's been very frustrating. Very frustrating. And intellectual arguments among ourselves, or reasoning among ourselves, doesn't change anything. They just say what they have tried to anticipate, intellectually speculate, and read and foster some sentiments. Doesn't do anything. And then one finds oneself contradicting, trying to explain the status quo of what we were never involved within. We don't understand. We cannot understand. And we're trying to make ourselves understand. Now, that word superiority is in play. Because I need to be respected now. And that's where frustration comes in. We can acknowledge that we're not respected. We're not even recognized. And then we realize that we've been dismissed. And we are still seen as slaves and less than human. And that 3/5 of a human being that was instituted by the alleged founding fathers, etc., etc. So, pastors, I just don't seem to understand how you all read, know these things, and that which you hold, you know that it should be representing or projecting what God has revealed. Then you know that it was Adam and Eve. It was Adam. You know that. That was fashioned and formed and fashioned. And you know that from your reading that his existence, which we call life, was breathed into him, for he was fashioned of mud, earth. The first human being, not an ape, not an evolution of apes coming human, no. The human, the first human, the main human, Adam and earth, and the Almighty awarded that piece of earth, peace, life, made it into a living organ that was called man. The developer of life as we know it, and the developer of productivity on this earth, and as we experience it, and we continue to nourish it and to develop it. Adam, we all evolve from Adam and Eve. So any form of myth should not be tolerated, African people. Any form of mythologies should not be tolerated. That we're able to converse, argue, and table until the camel can go through the eye of a needle, or a cow flies over the moon. After we play around that, because that's right over wrong. That is the key criterion, because we are subject, formed, fashioned, aided, supported by God Almighty. And it's not that the world don't know. It's that we have to let them know that we know, and we will not accept anything else. No compromising. So that's why Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and Paul has to be parked up, man. Mythology. Mythology. And the worst part of it is our 300 and whatever years it is, you didn't have a J. Your alphabet was incomplete. You're still trying to find your way. And then you take Yeshua, you take Isa, and then you fashion something. Hey, and we know this. This is the hurtful part about the whole thing. Africans know this, especially at home. But you got the whole continent following slave masters, colonial bosses, Commonwealth institutional bosses. Something's so wrong. And that's why we can't change. Because there's so much of us are hook, line, and sinking. So many pillages of the Caucasians. Unless we let them go, our condition will remain the same. Right now, it's at a stage where they're not holding on. We are holding on. Can't you all see the ideology? That great philosophy, hey, that they've in place and input on us. They rest comfortably, knowing that we're just, if we wiggle too hard, like in quicksand, we'll sink. You know? So if we just stay level, we're all right. Elege. Because them have us this way. There's no future. There's no salvation. There's no freedom. It's artificial. It's make-believe. It's make-believe. And not because someone put on some clothes, have on some shoes, even take an electric key and press a button, and that's not freedom. Maybe we have sold our souls to accommodate those things. And not just maybe. More likely than not. But what is comfort to us? Question. We have to question our souls. We know what an appetite should be. And we know when our parents, when our wives, whoever cooks, prepare a meal, it is satisfying. We don't swallow it. We don't divulge it. We love it. We caress it. We engage. We engage in that. And we're thankful. So putting that in one corner, are we thankful that we know, that we think we know that we're free? Are we thankful to think that we think that we have freedom? How do we express that? How do we live that? Why should there be a constitutional amendment if I'm so free and have freedom, Why should I be free anyway? Shouldn't I not be free in the first place? Shouldn't the best thing that should have happened to me by a people who said that they've acknowledged their wrongs to return me from whence they captured me from? Now that's only balance of justice to show that you really are sincere human beings. Yeah. Anything short of that than that ain't nothing. What you keep doing is making me try to fit in with your society, fit in with your jurisprudence, fit in with your constitution, fit in with your lifestyle, fit in with your behavior, fit in with your attitude, fits in with the fact that I don't know from you, you don't like me. And you've got me trapped to fit in with you. And you abuse me whenever you need some fun. It could be African season. When do we know? When we find ourselves being brutalized. Lynching season. And then murder season. And what goes on in the prison, we don't know. We can assume. Because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of us in your penitentiaries. That life, these people are evil. Pastors, there's a people on this earth that needs help, severe help, from gross atrocities, man. Auschwitz allegedly have ceased. Black Auschwitz hasn't ceased. Why again? Auschwitz allegedly have ceased. African Auschwitz has not ceased. African genocide have not ceased. Genocide in the Caucasian Manhattan has not ceased. The pain and the suffering of Africans have not ceased. The gentrification have never ceased. And now you want to experiment with Africans at home and abroad. Everybody, whether it's Google or not, have a look at the last reel of Planet of the Apes. And we must give what do you call them, award to the writer, because them knew something. And most of the time these people play out their fantasies. But remember, in the mythology, we were not aided and minded by wolves or dogs. We weren't. We were fashioned by God. We were taught by God. And we misbehave. And God send ye down all together on earth to be our dwelling place. Father Adam, Mother Hawa, Eve. And hence we were, and here we are. Not fashioned to an evolution of apes that you depict, We weren't. Worst other scenario is this. The church, and when I got frightened and when I got run and when I got scream, is that these mythologies that are people who found themselves with dog or wolves and survive, but yet still have the audacity to dehumanize the African race. Ooh, when we are the fathers and the mothers of the earth. Okay, rest that a minute. The Noah story should be the story of the ark and should be the story of the peoples not being obedient to God, being disobedient, and the amount of years that Noah, just like every other prophet and messenger, were told to tutor them, bring them back. He's his own people. It's not some foreign man gone somewhere, the people that can't understand what he's saying and think he's a damn fool. Okay. But what them do, them run through the thing and jump down to a new generation of Noah on the land. So we have Ham, Shem, and Japheth, or Shem. See? Now, here come the Caucasian, you know. And them write, we don't know how them write, rewrite, and do them thing. And we're looking at racism, right? Those of you who try follow me now, we are dealing with racism here, you know. And I'm always done that, but I'm doing it now and I'm adding it into the American Constitution and what happened to the young man George and where our brothers and sisters are in America and where we are still here in England. So we have this lineage of Ham, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. 3 sons. But the people them in the European people them, whether it's in Constantinople, whether it was Constantine, whether it was King James and his group, whether it was Martin Luther and his group, and so forth, them all come to some agreements with this thing. Whether it was Pope, whatever his name was, their names were, right, that whole institution, that one of these children, one of these sons, were black. But no, they weren't. You see, they're all the same. But all the same does mean white, you know, Caucasians. But the one that become dark now is through a sin. Alleged laughing at his father's alleged nakedness. They build some very good stories. This is not Quranic, this is Bible. So, one son covered the father, the other son turned him face, and the other one laughed. The one that's laughed now, him immediately turned black. And his offspring will become the black race. Whoo! I tell you, these people are serious. And they had nothing, well, they said that we came from the animals and this and that, this evolution of creatures, right? And they were blessed by God. So they're Adam's seed. We're not. So how did we get into that equation? Pray. You see, when you talk to someone like me, you can't play no foolish games. How did we get into that equation? See? But anyway, keep building it the way they've put it. And our pastors, them still endure it and everything else. And then them say them are scripture readers. You need to take your senses, man. Stop drinking the rum. That's another thing. Leave the alcohol alone, man, including the wine. So, we got this falsified idea and teaching in the church about Ham. The lineage of Ham and the land and all that come out of Ham is now Africa. But Africa is the cradle of civilization. Did nobody ever tell anyone else? So why you keep changing it then? To suit yourself. See, pastors, when you just read a little bit for yourself, you know, even though you're still a read their thing, you know, your sensibility says, whoops, this is crazy. You tell me this way, you send me that way, and then you send me this way. Wait a minute. So you must question what you're reading and get your sensibility working, and don't get yourself wrapped up in what they want to project to you. Like you don't have no faculties of your own or sensibility or alleged common sense. So, of recent time, they have decided, just like I tried to tell all these people out there now, Arabs are also black. But now they run up their mouth and carry on because a black is telling a black that and he's saying that I've got my own agenda and there's a reason why I'm projecting that. But then when them say Sudan, Arabs in Sudan, I don't know what people are looking at. See? You don't even say, why did they say that? Because your vision of an Arab is a Saudi Arabian or Iraqi or Iranian. But then your vision of Palestinians perhaps are the same too. But your vision of Ethiopia was the same until you saw some Ethiopians and then you saw His Imperial Majesty. None of you saw Menelik for one reason, I don't know. How come? Nagashi, you didn't see him either. I don't know how come, right? And the reason is because your Caucasian masters didn't let you see them. And that's how we've lost the Lion of Judah. All right, that's another story. But Ham now is the origin of black Africa, of Africa. Happened to be black Arabs as well. This is the British scripture, the British documentation. This is not Salih, Arab friends, Saudi Arabian friends, and Salih said this on the behalf of some Muslim sheikh or whoever. No. So this is racism. This is colorful racism. Now you know that this black is the curse, and you know that this black, they are saying that God was angry, you see, and then punish Ham. To punish Ham is to change his speech, is human texture. So that tells you, I should tell anyone, that everybody was white, was Caucasian. Even though they're there in Africa, you know, I'm a Caucasian. They don't have melanin. So are we supposed to think that Africa was cold one time and another time because of Ham, it got hot, right? Okay. So there are these long hair, goat hair people in Africa. Not curly, not woolly, not curly, just long and straight. Whence did the Caucasian change their clothes? So in Africa, they knew how to dress. And in Europe, they didn't have no clothes. It's a serious problem, man. Serious problem. I'm not being facetious or being darn well ignoronious. And the church practitioners lap this up. And we black people hug it up for years. And now George has come, things that come out. And pastors are still there. They're not resigning, jumping out and say, hey, you know what? Let me become a shepherd. No. Let me go do our own independent. No. You're not doing it. Behaving like you're blind. And making God seem the master of myths. Astaghfirullah. And then to complicate issues, here comes this Caucasian telling people about Semite and Hamites. Hey, you didn't have a language. Pray tell me how you get to decipher. By the time you got Latin, we already was reading Kiswahili and Amharic and Arabic, several major languages, and writing them. You haven't configured. When we were actually having canoes or Canucks, you still didn't have a language, a written language. That's just to show you. I mean, to re-explain the situation. So all of this is because we've been minding them, and we become apologists for them. And we've accepted them totally. Because we run with their thing and leave ours. And now Africans are coming and calling the Caribbean home. You think so we're ignorant? You think so we don't have sense and think that we don't think? You better be ready for our questions. And we're not dealing with our prime ministers. You're talking about individual people. So, Noah, Abrahamic religions, that's us. That's why it becomes so easy for you to plagiarize so many things, rewrite so many things, and whitewash so many things, and then take a race of people from your own Caucasus Mountains, which is the Caucasian again, and supplant them somewhere else. And it's the same training from the same deviant people that have killed our brother and killed many others. And you Caribbean policemen that comes to England and help with the training, update training and training of new police cadets on how to respond to us. You should be ashamed of yourselves when you know that our human rights has been violated and so much of us being killed. See, if all these things were documented, many of you should be standing trial with the same people that have killed us here. Because you're part of the problem. You've trained them. And what you train them for? You train them to say that we love, we're rhythmatic people, and we love to express ourselves with our hands. What do people them do? Them say that we are aggressive. Them say we are threatening. and them charged for grievously body harm. GBH. Only because that's how we are. Who told you? Because you're one of us. You didn't dispel it, man. You enforce it. So automatically when they come down on us, these are things them generally use. So the American man them now, them go to the same thing, not because you train them. The Askanaki trains them and others. Other dangerous Europeans. And they are Europeans themselves. So they do not react humanely when it comes to black people. Why? When it comes to African people, why? Why? Ham, Sham, and Japheth. Just like the same man Darwin, them books they need to be rid of. Them books, Britain needs to put them books in some place and incinerate them and call all our nation them to witness and apologize worldwide. Apologize worldwide, because you make we out to not be human being, not to be created and fashioned by God Almighty. When we are the father of civilization, how much time you need for now? And are you tell we never try to tell nobody? Those things are not really important to us, you know. What is important to us is that we are alive and we know and we want to know God, we want to fall in love with God and want to do good by God. Other than that, we are simple. And you have problem. Why would you go and make so much gun to everything you've done is to take life. You're not doing anything to engage life, love life, keep life, create harmonies. You always do something to dismiss life, to take life, and to threaten people. What kind of civilization you deal with? And that's why I can't understand how come the world don't stand up against you know. Because most of them control the world. And that is the reason. You love we so much that you make Kemet to be you. Now the children them at school think say that Egypt is part of Europe. It's nothing to do with Africa. And the civilization there is not Africans. Rotted. On a good man at deceiving. You're good. I don't know how you sleep. When I don't have fear of death. When I love kill people. I tell you though, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not a myth. And Jahannam is not a myth either. And paying the penalty for evil doings is not a myth either. See them imams out there that don't make when I understand that, you probably are earned from one. Because we need some fear about God. I tell you. So, have your fun. Control the earth. Mash up people. Violate people's freedoms. Threaten people. Murder people by the hundreds and thousands and the millions. And you will never exist again. And that's because you have done it to yourselves. I thought that that what was happening, the criterion would have shown the world how an evil generation he has lived within for so long. And now the cloak has been pulled from over them. And they've been exposed to the whole world. But it didn't go so because mythology is like a study. and we're Africans. And Islam is not a mythology. So that's why I'm always making sure that we part the way proper, because we are the followers of Muhammad, and we are the men and women adhering to Allah God Almighty, no man. And why Muhammad is the last prophet, the seal of the prophet, Khatam Nabi, for the world. Not for black man, not for white man, for the world, all human beings. No myths. And there's some people, you know, some young ones, African, Americans, they need to watch their mouths, calling Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, a pedophile. Again, you're still a deal with this thing. You're not reading. And you're not getting any applause. You're going to hurt your soul. And to say derogatory things about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as well, ooh, even worse problem. We will try to make contact with you, brother. And if one thing we want you to do is not to say those things, but if you desist from saying those things, what befalls you, not from any man or woman, from what is the Creator, you've brought the wrath on yourself. This is history. This is the way of the prophets. This is the way of God. And you're young. What a thing. But Ham, Sham, and Japheth, whoa, how the world God said that, put that thing out there, so. And then there's all these black people, African people. I want to now say, wait a minute. Say me that everything that is good was white and anything that was bad. It's just like Abraham alayhi salam, Hagar. Hagar is a daughter of a Pharaoh. And the Pharaoh give him daughter to Abraham alayhi salam. And his wife was barren. And his wife also consecrated the wedding so that her husband can have some offsprings. When the Bible talks about Hagar, them call her concubine. All of you, and black people can read. Are you also ignorant as well? Ishmael is our father. But the Bible said he was harsh. You reject him. Isaac is ours as well. You say you're in love with him because I never said that people want to claim Isaac. Isaac. You all are funny. My people are so funny, man. And this is Bible I'm talking. Go back and read it for yourselves. Read for yourselves. And then don't sack the pastor. Just go and sit down and have a read with the pastor too. If you read with the pastor but not the pastor read to you, you're doing yourself a justice. Because he will just hook you again. And you're not browbeating him. You're just saying. And then if you start jumping to say, no, we have to come over. It said, no. If God said this in Genesis, that's where it stops. You make God like Hollywood. So, everything that is black is bad. Everything that's Caucasian is right. Remember, you can't turn around and say that the people them do that to you. We're following. That's why it happens. Now, The Caribbean and opening up, I tell you, if people with their own senses look and see how our ministers have dealt with COVID or whatever it's called, and how they have been able to isolate those people who came in on whatever flights from whatever time and so forth, and use the quarantine and so forth, and take care of the population and exchange each other's strategies and medical scientific realizations. We are good at cooperating when we're under pressure, but naturally we are. But we only seem to excel when we're under pressure. And at this stage, we were under pressure, but we made those decisions by ourselves. It would appear. I'm saying, continue. Don't be forced. Because it's yourself, no. It's the population. Now you should be rethinking on how to be coming out of this, how to inspire the population, utilize what God has allowed us to have to the benefit of the all and not just a few, but the few is those who are already working for the colonial boss. So that's how few that few is. It's not part of the general population. It's a few peoples. And good exchange across the region and creating employment across the region will suffice. You know it. You know it now. You knew it before. Put it into play. And while you're at it, have a good look at the criminalities and come down on them with some serious thunder. Serious thunder. Don't ease up. So that you can open up and know so that anything that's even underneath a rock, you will get them. Because they have to push them head out somehow. And you can clean up the major international criminal forces that's seducing the underprivileged, backed by some privilege at home. You need to understand them parts there. And if you're sincere, fret not and be afraid. God is at hand. Do good for God and be upright and righteous and sincere for God. God backs you. But if you're in the camp and over the camp and around the camp, you're by yourself. You're by yourself. And man will ruin you. Because a man you work with. And the devil distracts man. But you work with God. And a God you fear. And you put God first. And you're not suppositioning. God will back you. Because there's more good people in the islands than bad people. You know the bad people are coming from outside. And the good few that's in the bad few that's on the inside is seduced by the bad ones that are coming from outside. So you can always squeeze the living daylights out of the ones that are at home that want to be bad. Want to be bad, God damn it. You can squeeze the living daylights out of them and give us back our islands. You understand? Yes. the opportunity for Africa that a call we home. Them not gonna want criminals. Them already have them hand full. They're not gonna want criminals. So don't let them turn them face from we. And economically you can do marvelous things. Inshallah. But you have to be stern. You have to be resolute. You have to represent the population. The general population. Not you and your friends. And the handful of people you call Senate this and that and that and that. No. Divorce it if you feel like. If you can't uphold it, divorce. Not divorce, divorce. Because when you're gone, you don't want to come back. But if you're sincere, you will not divorce voluntarily. So all you people who know me now, you want to tell them, write a goddamn thing, put on Facebook and all them something there. Because under this behave like say, we up here don't have no sense. We have sense, yes? And don't think because we attack something, them don't cuss too. You understand? When fright hit them backside, you want to see how them carry on. Right? Make things fear seeming about somebody's after you. No ratted body's after you. Is you scared of your own shadow? I wish I was home. I'm telling you, no one is after you. You're looking popularity where it is not required. His shadow frighten you. No one is after you. And all the rest of them that are going bad too. You don't need to behave on yourself. Trinidad, what happened to you? And all the poison that's going into Guyana. What's going on, man? Shape up and fly right. Shape up and fly right. Man, I tell you. Criterion, nah. Lost the cause, man, the plot. Mythology doesn't work. Mythology does not work. You understand? People, our environment, our social environment, that's the Caribbean, our social environment, we have been very, very good at that for many years. It's just that this so-called tourism something clothes everything that's good about us. Right? So it makes servitude, slavery, the most important things for other people. That can change. It's got to have a willingness to change that. And some people are like, we on the International Humanity Front. To hell with that. You understand? That can't come and throw everybody in a prison. So, you know what I mean? And then if the people then was encouraged to love what them island can produce and utilize what we have. You understand? And pack we shelf with what we produce, what we grow. Huh? You won't be saying such and such and such. Nah. And if my brethren, my brother, my sister up the road, round the corner there, that I have to do a hop, skip and jump and everything to go to their island, I was having good relation with them, good exchanges with them. Nobody could be starving. Nobody. Huh? Including yourself. Nobody. And our shelves would not be depleted. But when you work with America and Britain to stockpile your shelves because you get the people them false desires and seducing them and all these things, that's why those things will happen. And has happened. Am I a politician? No. Have I got sense? I do believe so. You hear how I put that though? I do believe so. I'm not suppositioning that I got sense. You understand? And where I think I may have sense, somebody's got more sense. So I'm not shutting the door to say that my sense is the best sense, you know. But to be stooping behind somebody? Nah. My mother would not permit it. Never. You understand? So, environment, man. Social environment. Deal with the people them right. You understand? Observation. What are you doing? What are you observing? Huh? You don't put the people in isolation and everything, seclusion and everything. Done a wonderful job. Wonderful piece of responsibility. If there was election, people have voted back in. But soon as you start saying, but you're going to open up the thing because you're being put under pressure from outsiders that was not goddamn well dear when you are take care of we. Now we have to start thinking twice. Something wrong. Right, back to my business, my brethren business. What we have here? Mangoes, guava, okra, aubergine, watermelons, hibiscus, avocados, man, yam, the whole vegetable spectrum. Cause when you see the land is extremely fertile. The water is there, everything. We're not stealing or directing water to come someplace where water is required elsewhere. No, none of that at all, right? So the license for importing and exporting, all them things have been taken care of. It's just we just want to use these little media and put there. God willing, God willing, big things, proper things will eventually come to fruition. So you will see an African, European, an African British provider of services, right, which would help energize some of the young Caribbean brothers from up here that are doing likewise already. Yes. There's at least 3 of them that we know, and but we're coming from Africa. We're coming through Africa. When I say we're, I'm gonna have to get permission. So I'm not excited. I am, alhamdulillah. Yeah, I saw things are developing. So we look forward to great things in that department. Tomorrow, God willing, yeah. But the criterion, the Al Quran, it's called Al Furqan. You see, it is about that which is right and which is wrong, right? To avoid the wrong and uphold that which is right. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, faith is not mythology. Faith is not deception. Myths and everything stirs up some people, excites some people. That's when you look upon a movie. The movies are myths. Even when them tell a true story, them have to put an angle in it because them say, well, them have to keep the audience interested. You understand? Even documentaries does do that. Them put a twist. This is twisted-minded people, man, right? And some people, them get involved in these things because they know that the general populace they're none the wiser, right? But what does it do? It makes an individual a demagogue, right? Then the individual they slip, but as far as they're concerned, they're not slipping. Yeah? They're popular. We cannot be exposing our children to those kind of fandangos, We cannot. I am proud of one thing, I asked my grandmother one day outside of a church that had a big crucifix and something and a statue on it, a human statue on the crucifix. And I was around 7. And I asked her, Gran, where is God? And my grandmother took her hand, her right hand, and raised it straight up above her head to the sky. That has been adequate, I know that word today, enough for me from that time till this time, and I will die this way. There's one other thing I asked my grandmother, you know. What is there behind the sea? At the back of the sea? And she said she don't know, she doesn't know. I said I would like to go over there and see the back. Because it always looked like there is a back, like there's an end. So I want to go cross the land, go cross the ocean, back down there, so with it seem it finish. But it don't finish because you just see the cloud. I just want to go to the other side. My grand didn't give me myths. She just said she doesn't know. And I've not pursued that at all. Not pursued it. When I was in the airplane, and even nowadays when we go up on an airplane, sometimes we pass some clouds them that look like you can jump on them and jump round and everything. And I admire them. What a wonderful creation. You see? And they look like that, you know. They look like you can just jump around on the cloud. You see? Because some of them just look like them solid. Yeah. And sometimes the airplane does approach some of them and it come like it get a little lick. Yeah. And I'm thinking like, God damn. So some of these clothes, them are heavy weight. Yeah. So, life. So, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. So, where me there? May I go here again? So, may I forget one of this big tune to listen to? As P normal, Mandel, what you say? Should I give them you? Nah. Yes. Big tune. Guidance.
Man, you got to know yourself. The battle gets hotter and hotter. Man, you got to know yourself. Know yourself, black man. Know yourself right now. Now is the time, black man, that we must all live as one. When your false prophecy, can't you see reality now? You and your false prophecy now. Can't you see reality?
It's freedom for the human race. That's what the world needs today.
La da da da, la da da da. Whoa, whoa.
And you know something I should have said? Africa is awaiting all of us, you know. You see? But Africa don't want safari dance. You understand? No. Africa want creative people. And the villages, them, they want creative people. Want helpful people. I'm telling you. Young people, them want inspiring individuals. That's us. Who's this us? That's us in the diaspora. You understand? We have been here. We live here. We understand things. We have a lot to offer. We have a great deal to offer them. Those teenagers. You understand? We can socially inspire them. We can motivate them. We can encourage them and support them. Most importantly, whilst we ourselves are learning. While we ourselves are learning. So what a great transition. Huh? Elders are working with young and learning from the young, and the elders of those same young in those same village is motivating and teaching us. You understand? What a great transaction. Serious. But somebody's going to come and tell you, say, well, him never said nothing about the money. Where does money come into that? It's trust, dedication, commitment, consistency, nobility, honor, and of all things, the love. Called keyword respect. You understand? They are awaiting us. They are awaiting us. And I pray God that I have life. You know what I mean? So I can just make my journey too. I'd be so disappointed if I die now. Like I can put it down. Yes, I want to go home. Listen, one day soon, guidance. Yeah, y'all know Moringa, innit? You know Moringa, right? You saying? Yes, man. There's some brethren, there's some people, them are deal good with Moringa. You understand? And that's all we need to do now is make them things work for Africa. Yeah? All the different things that one can do and Moringa can do, we should do earnestly. And we should support the villages. Don't just support our bank accounts. Support the villages. Support the people. The people on the ground. See? That's called good things. You understand? So when you see these work here, those young people, and those elders who are teaching those young people, I saw them stay all the while. All we're doing now is open up a market. You see? Oh yeah. Creating the facilities for a market. You know? And so on. So these are the things. Each one teaches one, and we use our intelligence wisely and sincerely and truthfully. That is it. That is it. You understand? And some of those same young people, young persons would be able to visit a place like Canada. You understand? Yeah. Even some of the Caribbean islands. Because all about sharing ideas and using appliances. See? Yeah. Going west and going out to the Far East. In a Tanzania, in a place called Uganda. Place called Sudan. And the Blue Nile ain't no spoil. Riding west, I keep on telling you I'm the best, best, by special request. Going off to the south, all the people them are chat, calling out my name. Don't forget Moringa. Land fertile. You know, some days more women work in the land them. Eh? More women, you know. Enough woman. I tell you. Them know the importance. Boy. mama, who never ever forgot you. Oh, mama, who never ever. When I'm lonely, when I feel blue, I always remember you. Daylight, stars are shining bright. Oh, mama. Yo, we never played hey, we played Delray before. Guidance gone. Mama.
Searching so long, baby. Searching so long, yeah.
Settle. God willing, see you tomorrow.
I'm searching so long.
Man called Delray Wilson.
Oh, yes.
Make me love again.
Searching so long.
Now that I found
For
you,
baby. Now that I found you.
please not be blue blue.
No more heartache.
Yeah.
No more pain, baby. No more sorrow. No more strain. But if you should leave me, I will surely go insane. But if you should leave me, I will never love again.
Hey, hey, hey. Let's join together
We are together
in this world.
in this world.
No more,
No more heartache,
no more what?
no more pain, no more sorrow, no more strain.
But if
Oh yeah. No more heartache since I found you, baby. But if you should leave me, I would surely go insane. But if you should leave me, I will never love again.
hey, hey, hey.
Hey, girl,
Let's come together.
we are together in this world. No more heartache,
And no more pain.
no more pain, baby. No more sorrow, no more strain. No more pain, baby. I said I since I found you. No more sorrow. Said I no more strain. No more heartache.
La la la
Since I
la.
found you, baby. We are together.
In this world,
Said I in this world. Yeah, Since I found
guidance.
you,
Sweet tune that you know.
no more pain.
Yes, Janice. Guidance gone. Love it. God willing, we're there about tomorrow. God willing.